it a banger? Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and TradeFly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. We got Bitcoin pushing back up above $63,000. Ethereum fighting for 3,500K. Is alt season here? Do we have a lot of pump coming? And is my portfolio high AF right now at 420? I don't know. All that and a whole lot more today on Piper Academy, guys. Let's get it. Classes in session. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. This is the show where we bring you the news, the charts, the markets every single Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you guys can have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Welcome to the Piper Academy. If it's your first time here and you guys never seen the show before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and get notified every time we go live. And if you get any value out of today's content, hit the like button. That's all we ask. That's it. Little small things. A lot of data, little small thing like a like. It's okay. Guys, I don't do the show by myself, though. I have a team. I have TradeFly and OC Guy, my co-host. Let's go ahead and bring them up here. Gentlemen, how goes it?
What's going on, guys? Man, super stoked to be here. And it's awesome, like waking up in the morning, going into the Discord, and seeing people winning. Starting to see people posting those percentages, and just everyone is in a good mood. Hey, it feels good. And we made it through the bear market. So
we made it through an entire bear market. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. So let's get it.
I'm still wondering, has anybody checked on the perma bears from the bear market? I'm wondering. I don't know. Just checking. OC, how you doing, man? What's up? What's that, TradeFly?
I'm doing fantastic.
I said Capo's Gano.
Capo's Gano. Yeah. What's up, OC?
I'm doing fantastic. Also, following up with TradeFly and you, Piper, is that, guys, I mean, surviving a bear market, that is a good thing. And not only that, I am also now craving back for the next bear market, because since I am taking advantage of the bull market, I'm also preparing psychologically when we start making the flip. And like before, taking full advantage of the way down. So you multiply up and you multiply down.
Yes, absolutely. That's it. That's how it's done right there, man. That is how we do it. Guys, we've got a lot of news today. I'm going to go ahead and start kicking into the news, but we got a lot to chart too. So I'm going to try to make this quick for us, painless. Let's just get into the macroeconomic data, guys. Today, daily news brought to you by Decrypted.tax, your trusted tax official. Guys, if you do not have any knowledge of the crypto laws that have come into play, anything like that, you want to protect yourself from the IRS doing an audit on you, get Ernest over there. Use the link down below in the description. You'll get a free consultation, 25% off his services. And he's a tax attorney and an accountant, so he knows this stuff well. And he also trades. He's a DGen. He's a DGen with a degree. So go ahead and check out Ernest over there. Let's jump in here, take a look at what we got. This is the crypto bubbles, and we're looking at the daily, guys. Bonk up 53.6%. Doge, like the meme coins are tearing off. Matter of fact, if you would have gotten into SNEC when I was talking about it on Monday morning, that because of Cardano's rally, we could see a move on SNEC. It's up 47% since then. So, looking at Solana up, it's tearing right now, 21.3%. ADA's up 10.5%. Pretty good day here overall. Bitcoin up about 2%. It's looking, let's go ahead and check the market cap. And this is going to be by the hour. Yeah, 1.3 for the hour. So not bad there. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the liquidations, because this is crazy, guys. Liquidations in the past 24 hours, 163,833 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $637 million in liquidations. So this was actually close to 700 million earlier, because it does a straight 24 hours back. But yeah, it's pretty insane. Largest single liquidation was on Bitcoin on OKX account exchange. It was $9.45 million. million. So shout out to somebody being liquidity exit for another trader. We do have this morning, guys. PCE and KBC letter has a good breakdown on this. We're going to be taking a look at it, but the core PCE price came in at 0.4%. Previously, it was at 0.1 consensus. It was a little bit higher than the forecast. If we look here, though, this is the PCE price index year over year. And evidently, even though it's not the big one, this is the one that is important according to KBC letter. We're going to be taking a look at that. Actual was 2.4%. Previous was at 2.6. Consensus and forecast was 2.4. Let's go ahead and jump over to that KBC letter and see what he had to say here. He said, breaking news, January PCE inflation, the Fed's preferred inflation measure falls to 2.4% in line with the expectation, as we just showed, of 2.4%. Core PCE inflation fell to 2.8% in line with the expectation of 2.8. This is the lowest core PCE inflation number since April of 2021. And it's a welcome sight by the Fed. And you look here, it says it's interesting to see CPI and other inflation metrics rise, but PCE is continuing to fall. If the Fed can get core PCE to 2% this year, it would be a huge win, and we could see a soft landing in 2024. He's asking that question, but it is possible. That is why he's asking that question. So what does that mean for the rate cuts and rate hikes? Let's go ahead and take a look here. Guys, right now, this is what we're seeing on here is 97.5% chance that we get no change. Okay. That is for 20 March. If we take a look what we get over here on May, we're not seeing anything here. And I'm just going to click through here and show you. Just watch this area right here. Right now, 80% chance, no change, right? For May. June, it is 36.5. There is only a 63.5% chance of a June rate cut. This was hitting 100% chances not long ago. July, do we have 100% here? No, it's at 80. It's at 85% chance there. Let's look here. September, it's at a 96.1. November, 98.2. December, 99.4. That's the year. There's no 100% chance popping up on here anymore. 99.8. I know these are close to it, 99.9, but they're still not 100. We were literally pinging 100%, and now we don't get that until July of 2025. That is why we've got to get these inflation numbers coming in lower in order for the real hype to occur. And if we take a look over here, back here, you'll see despite those numbers and despite that chance of rate cuts being way out, extreme greed kicking in at 80 right now. So new Bitcoin just passed the Russian ruble. And is now the 14th largest currency in the world. Let's go. Bitcoin sitting right there below the Swiss franc and above the Russian ruble. So, and then also Bitcoin ETFs set new records for both net inflows and trading volume in a single day, with $673 million there in net inflows and $7.7 billion in trading volume yesterday. So another new record set by the ETFs. And then I do have a little funny here. It is right there. These are people when they find the guy who told you to wait for Bitcoin at 12K. So here we go. If it plays for me, you're going to play for me, sir? Maybe it won't. If it plays later, I'll come back and play it for you. But right now, it doesn't want to play. It was quite funny, though. And I don't know why it doesn't want to play for me. It's just because we're live. And that's why. That's why we don't do live shows. But we will always do live shows, guys. Let's jump over here. Back to the trio cam. That is your news for today, everybody. We do have some articles. We're going to sprinkle them. We're going to sprinkle those articles throughout the show. We got talking about the MVRV. That is a big one. That is the... For those that don't know, that's the market value to realized value indicator. We haven't had it pop where it's at right now since 2020. And guess what happened? Guys, guess what happened right after the MVRV did this last cycle? Can you guess? Yeah, it was the parabolic pump. It was a parabolic pump. That's right. No words needed, just up only, right? Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, show you guys that chart, and then alt season. This is an interesting one. Actually, we're going to talk about this one for a second, and we're going to go look at this article because I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. This is an interesting one before we get into the charts. So we've got, we got this pump going on, Bitcoin, right? It's sitting static. We're hitting some resistance at the platinum pocket and consolidating across there, right? And that starts altcoin season, right? Analysts are predicting that we could see in this little altcoin season. Keep in mind, these are little cycles, right? So altcoins will pump and then Bitcoin will get back to it. And it just does a whole thing, right? Altcoin season, analysts are predicting that the altcoins during this little post surge of Bitcoin could have a 2x rally. I wanted to show that. Let's get over here and talk about that. Guys, are we going to see a doubling here, a tripling actually on a 2x rally of the current price on altcoins in this little cycle that we're in? Like that would be, by my calculations, that would be right around the halving. That this would be between now and then. So between now and the halving, could we see 2x on the altcoins? OC, your thoughts on this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. See,
And there you have it. That's it,
everything
folks.
up.
Yeah, we're done.
No, in fact, I mean, guys, you might remember me saying that we are going to be heading into a micro altcoin season, right? And that's what I started going heavily in buying some stuff. In fact, I do remember when our developer is saying in the middle of the class, so OC, let me see if I understand. You're buying high, so you can sell higher. And I would say, well, I'm trying to position myself on the pullbacks, right? So then I can set a stop loss and then start selling higher. But yeah, absolutely. We see this kind of like a craziness. Why? Because when Bitcoin moves, everything moves. And not only that, as long as Bitcoin it's boring, but still high value, people are going to get impatient and start putting their money into altcoins. So I'm trying to get advantage of that right before the halving event. And I'm still waiting for that Bitcoin pullback. So I don't know. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think I think we see that a lot. I'll actually, TradeFly, go ahead and talk your piece, and then I'll tell you my opinion of why I think that we get these little altcoin rallies like this and why they're so parabolic. Go ahead, TradeFly.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about it pre-show, right? We've already seen kind of a 2.5%, or not 2.5%, but 2.5x move for the altcoins already. So I would be looking for at this point, since Bitcoin has made such a big move up, that it's got to consolidate. So consolidate is what you want to look for. If it pulls back, then obviously the altcoins are going to move back with it. But if we do get some consolidation, we find a range kind of where we're at right now, very, very much in play, because what's going to happen then, people will start rotating out of Bitcoin. You'll see Ethereum pop a little bit, and then you're going to see the altcoins really jump. So that's what I'll be looking for personally. But also, I want to get over to the chat just real quick. Say what's up to the Investing Bros family. I saw the viewers just jump once that came over after their show. So I want to say what's up. Chat's popping, LBC, Gia. I mean, everyone, all the big players are in there. Alexander G. Your boy.
Yeah, that's my
there.
alumni. You know
Zach,
what I mean?
What's up? Yeah, man, it's just a bunch of the OGs in here. So just want to give some love to everyone in the chat. But yeah.
Yeah, much love to everybody in the chat, man. We love you guys, and thank you guys for joining us here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give my piece on this, and then we're going to jump into the charts. So you guys ready? You technical analysts ready to do some technical analysis? So here's my thought on this.
I'm going to show y'all my no-no zone.
The no-no zone. I love it. That's great. Look, here's what happens, and it's a psychological thing. We all see Bitcoin move. When Bitcoin moves, every headline out there talks about it, either that it's going to go to zero. Why is it moving like this? Like Jim Cramer talking about it yesterday. What has it done for the world ever? And I said it turned blue collar Joe into a 1%er, the new generation of 1%ers. That's what it's done. So, but they see it move. They get the news. They see Bitcoin and they go to buy it. They're like, I need to get in on this, right? That FOMO kicks in. They go and look at it and they see a $63,000 Bitcoin. And so they go, well, God, I can't, like, I got $100. I can't even get anything with that. And so they start looking down the list and they see things like, oh, I've heard about Pepe coin. This is funny. What is this, right? They've heard about Ethereum. They've heard about Solana. These cheaper tokens kind of just look more accessible to them, right? And so I think that's what you see a lot is you see people wanting to get into those altcoins because they can buy, if I have $1,000, I can buy like 6 Solana versus 0.00001 Bitcoin. And I think that's a lot of times what happens. Plus, you got some really smart people that know Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out, altcoin in, and then they just keep riding those waves, right? So let's get into the TA TradeFly. Did you have something? Do you want to say something?
Oh no, I was agreeing with you. I
Okay.
just like that really plays into the consolidation part. So we have those big moves for Bitcoin, and yeah, just like you said, that psychological factor of 63 is so high. Yeah, let's look at some other projects. So yeah, no, I
Absolutely.
think that makes perfect sense.
It do be making sense, don't it? Let's take a
Yeah.
look at Bitcoin, guys. Right now, yesterday, interestingly enough, we have our predictive ranges here from the Market Dynamics Pro indicator for Chart Prime, and we wicked above this delta median line. I was like, if we're breaking this, then we're going to be heading up here about $67,000, right? 67,310 would be that range there, and then all of a sudden we get that horrible news scare from Coinbase. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I posted pictures of it. My Coinbase account was at 0. I didn't care. I wasn't concerned. Matter of fact, I think it was best said by Digital Asset News. Rob over there said, we have a parabolic rally on Bitcoin and Coinbase goes down. We are back, baby, because that's literally what happened multiple times last year. So looking here at what we got going on the Bitcoin right now, though, we are back up fighting on that delta median line of the predictive ranges. Ironically enough, come over here. Let's turn on the fibs. That's also the top of the platinum pocket at the 887 there that we rejected off of. And so I'm watching this right now as we continue to fight into that continuation that we have going on here to get above that 887. If we can get above this with the candle close, retest this, guys, we're heading next up to 68,992. What is that number? Why does that sound so freaking familiar? Well, that would be the all-time high. That's how close we are, guys. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. This is what we have going on right now. A break in a test of support on the 887 would literally put us at the all-time high as the next target on Fibonacci's. Looking at a $67,300 Bitcoin on the next predictive range level. Take a look here at the oscillators. Everything is looking like overbought, like hard. We're not all the way here on the ribbon yet. We were there, and then we cooled off a little bit from that pullback, got a divergence there, which means, hey, this is a bearish divergence. Guys, you should be pulling back. Bitcoin said, here, hold my beer. Nah, fam. And that's what happened there with that. So looking at Bitcoin from that perspective, let's jump over to the massive chart. Shout out to Eric Wallen. This chart brought to you by Eric Wallen, alumni for life. If you take a look at what we have going on here, break above the golden pocket. We're sitting there really clean right now, guys. But the break above that, if we can prove this weekly candle inside of here, and then on the retest next week, test that for support, this would be putting us up to top side movement within the next month, about $78,000 to $79,000. So holy cannoli, that's what I have there. Let's jump over and let's take a look at TradeFly's charts. What you got? Oh, yeah, we'll go TradeFly today. We'll go this way. We're gonna go backwards. There we go.
Right on. Cool. Yeah, I got Bitcoin pulled up on the daily. Correction again. Jeez, I got it on the weekly. So one of the things we've been talking about is that there is a massive cup and handle here, and just wanted to point it out. Like if that were to play out, that's another thing leading you to the all-time high. So right about the same area, you're looking at that all-time high. But like, let's start talking about post all-time high, right? I think it's a realistic possibility that we could get there. So where am I looking? If we do get past that, we made a video about it. But the having historically, you're expecting some sort of pullback, and after all of this movement up and right, you're still expecting a pullback. But for whatever reason, it goes parabolic. I do have kind of a line in the sand, and 88,000 was kind of it. So go back, watch our video. But I just want to point that out. And where am I coming up with that? Well, I'm just taking the previous all-time high, drawing a line straight across, right? The trend is your friend. So I would be looking for some sort of retracement or rejection off of that area. So it is an area for you guys just to keep in mind in the back of your head if it keeps moving. But also, of course, this area, you can see some volume, building up right here, right around the all-time high too. So if there's volume there, which means a lot of people exited, then you can expect some sort of resistance if price were to continue to push up. So it's very logical that you're going to see some sort of pullback if we do start getting up into that all-time high area of about 69K. People are going to take profits. All right. There's been a lot of people that have been stuck, holding for a long time, and all-time high. People are going to get scared. Also, a little psychological aspect to it. So just something for you guys to keep in mind in the back of your head here. Just looking at the prime oscillator, we are getting into the overbought. So could there be a pullback? Very likely that there could be. Not going to rain on the parade too much. There's a lot of hype going on. I think retail is starting to FOMO in. I got multiple text messages yesterday, and that lets me know, hey, we're back. But what comes with that? Volatility. So
I do want to point out on there where you got that blue line for that breakout of the cup and handle coming up from that. We were overbought there too, and all it took was some sideways action to cool everything off. So remember, just because you're overbought, a retracement is not necessary to cool everything off. Just consolidation sideways. So, but be watching that consolidation zone. And if you're a scalper, if you're a scalp trader, that's your bread and butter right there of your trading cycle. Is when it goes into consolidation, find that range, ping off the top, ping off the bottom. So, pro tip.
Yeah. That's been the trend too. Like I think we talked about that last week. It's up, consolidate, and that's just been the trend. So
that's the thing to watch. OC, I'll kick it over to you, and then we'll come back around. We'll check out some Ethereum.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at weekly on Bitcoin. And the first thing that I want to do on weekly is just figure out where do I have this purple lines, right? A couple of classes before I start dropping these lines, before we start broken into them. And let's now see what is going to be, or what was my analysis on the previous sessions, and also the outcome on those analysis. Just to bear in mind that this is previous resistance that becomes new support, as we can see it as we bounce off it. And the same way it goes from the tops that I'm looking at, or I'm seeking to get as many wicks and bodies as I can when drawing those support and resistances. All right, let's go down to the 4-hour chart in here, and let's zoom into that little area. So let me just draw it here, or sorry, zoom in to make it a little bit more understandable, and we'll see what happened. So remember that I did told you guys that I have a trailing entry for a short. Remember that? So that usually, or that activated somewhere around here. I don't quite remember the exact entry point. I'll pull it out at the end of the class, so I can have a chance of looking at my broker. But then I trail it till a 3%. That 3% happened to be somewhere around here, and then I closed it as we were down here and retracing. So that trailing short play out very, very nicely. Now we are at the topic here of this channel. We are extremely bullish, all right? And that is that we are on the 4-hour. So we need to be a little bit careful on what is going to be doing next, because then we have some free spacing here, and we could pretty much be going all the way, up to 66.6, all right? But so far, I'm still holding my decision on looking at an oscillating section right down here, like we saw it all the way down here. So why? Because we have too much air on that dynamic reactor, and we need to start consolidating to make this as a level. So far, everything playing out very nicely, and we just need to be a little bit careful, because we are forming some divergences. As always, I see TradingView not playing out with me. Let me see if I can refresh my oscillator here, and let's take a look at what is going on there. Also, on the second round, I have BNB, because that has been playing out very nicely. Here we go. We have a bearish divergence, and we have also a couple of overbought areas all the way down here, all the way here before this rally. So a pullback, it is very much needed, or at least I am expecting that pullback. So just be careful. We can still go all the way to 66.9, but I'm still expecting a little range in this area.
Awesome. OC, your camera has frozen. So while we rotate through me and TradeFly, let's try to get your camera up and going. Okay, bro? Your screen
Absolutely.
was perfect. Screen was perfect. Camera frozen. We had a smiling OC there the whole time. It was great.
Oh,
Let's jump
yeah,
up
that camera.
here. Check out. Let's jump over here and check out Ethereum while he gets that rebooted back in, guys. Take a look at the weekly here on my other Fib channels. My new favorite chart. We are sitting above the 236 and breaking above that as previous resistance here, as you can see right now, getting that break above that, and that is going to be quite bullish for us on Ethereum. Let's go check out the lower time frame and see what we're seeing over there. And then we'll move out. There we go. Sitting right now, $34,068. I did tell you guys, we did discuss this yesterday, I believe it was. I said, watch for this little pullback. I'm looking at the 1 hour charts, and I gave the range in here for support, and that range was going to be coming in off of the Delta blue line here, the predictive ranges, and the 887 up top. I said, that should be a support zone for us to bounce in. If we get that bounce in the support zone, then that would be an entry for the upside. Well, that's exactly what happened. We came down with that sell-off yesterday from the Coinbase incident, and we got the bounce there off of that Delta blue in the zone. Retested it multiple times. You had many hours. You had like 5 hours here of collecting in that zone for that upside move. Since that area right there, even if you got the very top, still be about a 6% move that you guys could have grabbed. So if you got that, shout out to you. You guys are rock stars. I am watching here for a resistance zone. That is going to be the 1-to-1 line up here coming in at 35.81. And then we have the upper resistance band of the predictive ranges there. Looking at the Oscillator Pro right now, the Oscillator is coming to the downside a little bit, but it's not very sharp. I'm not overly concerned about it. Like I said, that can cool off just by consolidation. Right now, the consolidation score on it is only a 0, so it's very low, but prime score is still a nice, so this consolidation not really triggering any of the algorithm, and the continuing trend to the upside is what we're seeing on the score there. This is getting everything cooled off, so just do your thing. Grind sideways there for a bit. Cool all this back off. Look for that 0 bounce there. Look for us to get back into that 50% range like we were here. If we're still above this line, guys, we're absolutely coming up to test this range right there. So that's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. TradeFly, let's kick it back over to you. And let's let you check out whatever asset you got in mind. Let's go.
I got MATIC up, Captain Jack MATIC at your service, baby. Let's go. All right, I'm going to get the chart right this time. This is MATIC on the 4 hour. All right, I got it right this time. So we've been tracking this company.
Hey, is that the 4 hour?
Quite some time. What's that?
I said, hey, is that the 4 hour?
That is the 4 hour. That is the 4 hour. I got this. All right, so pretty interesting looking at this. So one of the things we did talk about when we initially were looking at the cup and handle, I was like, hey, it's probably going to come up. And I did give you about the 108 area is what I said. And I was like, look for a pullback and then for continuation up and right. So it's pretty much what we got. Interesting thing is it came down to about the neckline. And then guess what? This old dynamic reactor, that thing strikes again. Got support right off of this. Now, this wick down right here is actually in conjunction with Coinbase. So Coinbase had its oopsie yesterday. I don't know if you guys watched it. Like the altcoins were getting wrecked for probably about an hour or so, and then they all just recovered very, very quickly. But you know, that's the power of this dynamic reactor, man. I say that over and over again. It also was aligning with the 100-day, and now we're coming back up into this range that we've kind of found ourselves in after we made it up to about 107, 108 area. All right, so we're in there. Where do I think we're going to go from here? Well, I would say looking at the oscillator, it's looking pretty good, right? Because what we want to see here is that trend up and right. And I talked to you guys about that quite a bit. You see, we get the twist, we're turning back up and right, which means we got some momentum pushing up and right, and we're coming for another retest, right? So there's two different schools of thought here. I will tell you my school of thought personally when we're testing resistance and support. I look at it as like chopping a tree, right? You keep hitting it until it falls. That's kind of my personal take on it. I know a lot of people say, hey, it gets weaker with more retests. It's just up to you. But when I see the oscillator showing me strength, and then we keep retesting an area, that shows me that it wants to break more so than it wants to get rejected. But we'll see. All right, so we're up here. That's the area to look for right now. That 107 to 108 area, that's where you want to keep your eye. All right, if we break that, then we're coming up here. I think it's clear skies up to 118. That would also go with the measured move off of the cup and handle. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with MATIC right now. Low side, if we find consolidation with Bitcoin, or if maybe it pulls back just a little bit, then I could see it coming down, testing that psychological number of $1 again. And then, hopefully we start that movement back up and right. But there's your like numbers right there to look for. 107, $1 even, and then 118 as the high side.
Absolutely, man. Hey, let's jump over here for a second. We got a little something that just came through on the chat. There we go. Let me bring this in.
All right, Nick.
Yeah. It is going to be Nick Musgrave. He said, "No thanks needed, TradeFly. Privileged to get this alpha into my eats, bro." So let's get that going here. I got a little. See, I got this whole thing that I got set up here. Now I can do this. Watch. Ears. Privileged to get this alpha in my ears is what he meant to say there. So yeah, shout out to Nick Musgrave shooting over a 70 ZAR, and I'm not sure what that is, but we appreciate it. Much thanks to you, man. Yeah, TradeFly, you dropping that alpha, man. You're getting people's attention over there. They love
he's part
it.
of the Otter Gang, I think, man.
I think he is. I think he's part of the OGs over there with Alex.
Stop over there every once in a while.
By the way, speaking of Alexo, do you know that tomorrow Alexo Crypto is a guest on the show? Yes. Yeah, I'm going to have twin otters on here, TradeFly and Alexo sitting next to each other. They're twins. So, yep, right there. So, yeah, he'll be a guest tomorrow. I was on his show Monday, and he's like, "You want to come on Friday?" And I said, "Absolutely."
That's so cool. Hey, Nick, thank you.
It's the African Rand is what that is. So, there you go. I won't look that up, but we appreciate you, bro. Let's go ahead and get into some more TA with OC because he's back. He's back.
Perfect. I really want to touch back on something that TradeFly mentioned that it really kind of like felt my heart. My dad always used to tell me, give me an example of how to cut a tree, right? And he will always said, well, it's always, sometimes you forget the most important part, which is the little details. Like always maintenance your axe before cutting a tree. That'll maintain, the momentum going, the speed going, and the hard work giving you results. So yeah, guys, it is on the details. Do not forget the details. So shout out to my dad. Thank you for that lesson of life. And I want to touch back on BNB right here. I know TradeFly has also been taking a little bit into this one, but we have an amazing trend line going on here. And what do I call amazing? Let me start removing a couple of things that already have happened. Remember, I was expecting a little range and then a target hitting here. That range was a little shorter. Target hit, very nice. Let's just get rid out of it. Now we're going into a strong trend line right here, all right? So look at how many divergences we're having here, all right? So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to be looking at BNB for me, as a leading coin. Why? Because it has proven for me that lately has moved first than Bitcoin, and then could be retracing first than Bitcoin. All right, so this is not a science, but sometimes we can see a little bit more volatile coins leading the way, and seems like Bitcoin following them. All right, so based on that, I will start looking for a breakout on this line, and I'm gonna just lock it. Remember, lock your FIB, guys, and also I'm gonna be adding an alert in there. So I want to see what the price action is getting in here, and I am also breaking through this zero line. That will be taking me maybe on a retest area, and then probably entering for a high risk shorting scenario if I decide to short it. If not, most likely I will be holding for the dynamic reactor. Also, we could be forming here a head and shoulders with a neckline. This is way too far into the future, guys. Nevertheless, it's important to be prepared. Remember that a smart trader is a prepared trader because it is expecting the unexpected. So that's what I'm also looking. And when a BNB starts showing some bearish signals, I will also be looking at Bitcoin to see if it replicates that movement. So far, consolidation score is dropping to 3. Most likely, we could reach 4 and 5 for a little sideways action. And then I'll revisit this analysis. So turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, so I want to show something here real fast. I already told you tomorrow, Friday, Alexo Crypto going to be on here. We also have a video coming out tomorrow. It's already available to our members. They get exclusive early release on it, but it is ready to go. Tomorrow, this video will be out from Crux's curriculum right here on Piper Academy. It is the Caspa deep dive video, and is it the next Bitcoin? So Crux's curriculum, I should say. Tongue twisted there. Coming out tomorrow, guys. Be watching for that video. So shout out to Crux on getting that done. It is ready to go. Tomorrow, big day. Friday, wrapping out the week. Party time, you know. Let's go ahead and jump over here. Check out what we have going on NOS. That's what was requested. And then we also had a request from MANTA. If one of you two want to grab that, not sure if you guys saw that message in our chat. So let's go jump into NOS and see what we're seeing on here. I've looked at this before, and I don't remember where I had the chart at, so let's just go ahead and add it. I'm sure it's in my list somewhere. I have a lot of stuff in there. Crypto. Mexi, I do have it right there. Look, bam. All right, let's check out NOS. NOS on this chart right now, it looks like we do have a pullback. We don't have a lot of history here, but we got a perfect rejection, guys, right off of that Delta median yesterday on there also. And it looks like right now we have lost and we're fighting with the rejection on that Delta median. We do have a trend assistant beneath us right now, but the dynamic reactor running really tight and close in here. Literally, this thing is just following its dynamic reactor. So if we take a look, I can see that I had at one time done Fibonacci's on this, and you can see it did that rejection on the platinum pocket, came down to the 50, and that's where it launched at. So we're going to draw new fibs on here, and we are going to draw a fixed range volume profile on here and see what we're looking at. So we got these stages here. As you can see, the little breakout. We had a breakout here. It went up, consolidation, breakup, consolidation, right? Let's go see on a clean, fresh, new chart what we could be seeing next and if it's doing anything similar to this cycle here, again here. So let's go grab fibs. It's learning time, guys. We're going to use a trend base because I believe this is now sitting in undiscovered territory, price discovery. Yes, it is. So let's go and check out what we have going on here with fibs. We're going to go do a chart or a trend-based pattern. Okay, so we're going to come down here. We're going to look where we've had a pattern to the upside. So give me a second. Got to get this going. There we go. We're going to go over here. We're going to grab those trend-based fib extensions, and we're going to take it from the bottom to a top to a bottom, okay? This is what you're doing. You're looking for these little patterns here where it comes up and then pulls back, comes up and pulls back. That's a continuation of a trend. And when you do that, that's what these are for. We're going to place this right there. We're going to bring it up to this point here and then bring it down to this point here. And there you go. When you see it play like this on these golden pocket ranges, you know that the sequencing is looking pretty good. And that is what we have there on that. Let me make sure that I do have the bottom caught here. I want to make sure. Nope, I don't. Get on there. There we go. That is the bottom on that one. And let's go see what we have here. We have good rejection. We have good price movement. We are looking right here at the phase 4 golden pocket at $5.50. This is where we're fighting with right now. If this candle closes below this one, guys, we're likely heading down here to this lower support band. This little white line you see right there beneath that, that is part of the predictive ranges. That is the next range below this gold that I said we rejected off of, and it's falling right in line at the 3.618. I would be watching Nosana to hit right here. Let's go ahead and throw a T-box on there. And then we will take a look and see what else we can find. We're going to pull that on here, and this is going to be green for support. There you go. And then we're going to be watching for that bounce there. That bounce to the upside would, obviously give us another movement and this would still be, just for clarity's sake, this would still be a higher low, which means we could still come up for a higher high. So it's not bearish at all at this point. It's just consolidating back down after a very hard run up. Would like to have seen it hold that 4.618. Didn't happen. Right now, looks like we are going to be heading to that 3.618. So let's take a look at the oscillators and see what we're seeing on that. And then we will pass it over and try to get MANTA going. I do see something here. this is something. You see these small candles coming in here and this flattening on the RSI prime. This is a very bullish maneuver I'm seeing right now, and we are starting to get curvature here. So if this went down to that box, let's go ahead and redo that box. I took it off for a second there, but I want to make sure that you guys have this. I'm going to give you these price levels to watch for. Not financial advice, but this is what I would be watching for. Watch this. We're going to bring this in. We're going to bring it down to that line, and this box is going to be where I would watch for your level, and that top side is going to be coming in $4.99.7. So just say $5. And then that lower side going to be coming in at $4.53. $4.53 to $5. Look for your entry. I think that is going to be your continuation, especially given what we're seeing down here on the bottom on this RSI prime and curving of the ribbon here. That would give a nice bounce of support, a retest to this previous range. And in addition, we have plenty of room to continue to the upside. That's your NOS TA. Let's go ahead, kick it over to who has MANTA. Who has MANTA?
I kicked it to OC in the chat. Hopefully he's got it up because I know he had a play on it.
Let's take a look at it right now.
You made a trade on it, didn't you? Or talked about it?
What is it?
Yeah, he's done it before, previously. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I just had a catastrophic failure on my Streamlabs thing. That's why I'm just keep popping in and out. So let's take a look at what is going on with MANTA. So we have a possible entry, which by the way did got in, but it was, I mean, look at this wick that we have going on there, right? At this point, we are below. Yes, exactly. We are below that zero lining here, and that usually indicates that we are mostly bearish on momentum. Now we have our prime score very bearish, and our consolidation score, it is also bearish, right? So we are not consolidating, we are moving into a trend, and the trend is bearish. That's why I'm saying that our consolidation is bearish. But so, I mean, right now it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. We have a second retest, here we go. And the next movement, it is likely to be to the downside. We need to be very careful in this area. Why? Because despite we did enter somewhere around that area because we had a very low entry point based on this support and resistances that we had going on here. So that was the entry point. This is, I mean, we're still on profits, but we need to look at what is happening here. If this, guys, was your entry for a holding scenario, which by the way, it was my case, I am going to still holding this area, and I'm not going to be selling the MANTA that I got back down there. All right. No matter if I go into negative, because that it's going for my hodling back. All right. This is not for my trading back. So now let me throw in here a couple of more things. At this point, I am looking at my my trend assistance. So it's very low. It's telling me that I'm still green, right? That I do still have a possibility to go back up, and that will be defined by my consolidation score and my my prime score. So far, look at where all that support is building up. So we need to be very careful with MANTA at this point. Let me now start trying other stuff in here. Let me start doing my Market Dynamics Pro. And so far, I do have a liquidity area all the way up here and nothing down there, but I do see where is my volume. So I will be also looking for smart money. Let me just get back this area here so I have a little bit more to look for. There we go. I'm looking for this smart money. How do I know the difference between smart money and retail money? Well, there's a basic characteristic here. Retail money, usually it's a lot of money and it has no reaction to price. All right. So it's a ton of volume, no reaction to price. And smart money usually is very low volume, huge price reaction. All right. So that's why I can safely say, or safely speculate that this is an area where smart money will start jumping in. So I will again be looking at this area once again, and also looking for maybe a pullback, maybe a double bottom, and also a breakthrough that zero line. If you're looking for an entry point, look at this area. I'm not saying that you should be entering right there, but look at that area. And if we're breaking through the zero line to the upside, well, then that could be a good characteristic that we could be bouncing back up. So that area is at 2.547. So that's exactly what I'm looking at. Let me add another alert there so I also can do my analysis once again when the price action is in there. Let's just take a look at the other way around. It is breaking through this section in here. Remember, a smart trader is a prepared trader, and a prepared trader looks both ways, right? So I am looking to break through this volume section and get back at somewhere around this area or this area where smart money is. So I will be adding a couple of alerts there. So one is going to be right here between those both, and I will be looking at a possible retracement, right? What I want to see is a price breakthrough, bounces from here, go back, find support on the dynamic reactor and on retail money support, and then confirm a wick up and then moving up with a flip of the ribbon or a cross through that zero line. So those are the two ways or sections that I'm looking at. Let me just get it back to you. It is 3.152 and 2.536. So that's what I got in Manta.
Awesome. Appreciate that, man. Shout out to Dave Digital in the chat. And yes, you're right, Lunar. You are not someone's friend unless you call him a jackass. Crux, absolutely. My most favorite and exhausting and debating and argumentative jackass friend that I could ever have. So, TradeFly, let's jump over to your chart, see what you're looking at, bro. And then I'm going to bring it back, and we're gonna take a look at Marathon and Clean Spark when I come back. So,
right on. I put up a GALA. I know we've had someone in the chat asking, I think it might have been Christian Mayer. I can't remember, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it. I know he was asking, hey, should I go ahead and DCA in? I zoomed out. I went to the weekly and I was like, hey, bro, you can DCA in at any point with GALA because it was like bottomed out. But as technical analysts, what we want to look for is, stuff on like fib retracements, getting into that golden pocket. And so I do have an area that, we highlighted because a lot of the altcoins were lining up at the same time. They were all kind of getting to the 618 to the golden pocket. And then you come down and you look here at RSI or the prime oscillator and you're seeing, hey, look, we're getting some divergence. You see price coming down, that's going up. You're going to hear me talk about this all the time because it's so important to me as one of my personal strategies. This is one of the biggest setups that I look for. And we got it to a T. And not only did we get it on that first one, right? To be perfectly fair, that's probably where I would have looked at enter on this one specifically, but we got the next touch. All right. So we got two touches on the golden pocket and it continued. RSI was trending up and right. That's like further confirmation for me, like, hey, this might be a play. So it went up quite a bit. We've broken through previous resistance already. And now what it looks like it wants to do, this is Coinbase. So I kind of take this wick, out of it almost, and it didn't actually close underneath of it. So we got to close over top of what was resistance, which for me is an idea like, hey, I think we've now flipped what was resistance into support. You come here, you're looking, you're like, it's getting a little overbought. So what you want to see is some consolidation over top of this area right here. So I did leave this up only because we previously talked about it. I wanted to kind of mention it, but now we're like, well, where's it going to go? All right, so let's zoom out a little bit. And now, hey, give me my airplanes, baby. Make them fly because I'm bringing up the chemtrails. All right, chemtrails up. There it is. There it is, baby. Here we go. All right. So I got my chemtrails on the map here, and look at it. I mean, it came right up to this area of resistance. Now, granted, there was not a lot of volume associated with it, but we did get a nice little pullback. And you can see once it pulled back, we came down to another area. And look how it lines up with where there was resistance. So this is calling it. It's saying, hey, this green line right here, green support, red resistance. All right. So what we saw is it came down to support and now it's moving back up. All right. So here's your couple zones here. 036, that's your support area. And then you got 043, that's your area of resistance. Keep an eye on these two areas, right? We are right now moving up and we are also getting overbought. So what I'm looking for or expecting, I'll say, is probably a little bit of consolidation in this area. Little bit of consolidation, but I don't think this is going to be too much of a factor. When we retest this a couple of times, if you see the prime oscillator come down and then it starts to kind of bend back up, right, gets an opportunity to kind of reload here. And then, if we break through, I would say that 5 cents, that's well in play, but that's going to be an area that I would look for a significant amount of resistance. You can see how it really starts building the volume there in that area. And if you just go back on the chart, look left, then you can see, hey, we had these two big, spikes up, came up, and it found resistance there twice before ultimately it broke down pretty hard. So that's a couple areas I'm looking for. Again, just rehash about 3.5 cents, 0.036 up to about 0.043. And then high side is going to be 5 cents.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I see you're back there with your floating head. You look like you're getting ready to break out into some Bohemian Rhapsody. I love it. So that we should do a 4-pack one day, and all of us just wear black shirts with black backgrounds. It'd be fantastic. I see
you. Amazing.
Let's jump over and take a look at what I told you guys I would take a look at here. It's Clean Spark and Marathon. I'm not just going to show you guys when I'm a winner. I'm going to show you when I'm a loser too. And right now, I'm a loser. I'm still bullish on my mining stocks, but right now we did have a harsh rejection here on Clean Spark off of this 1-to-1 line, $23.54. I believe Eric Wallen took some profit right at the top. Shout out to Eric Wallen. My entry on Clean Spark, though, just so you guys are tracking, my consolidated entry is all the way down here at $10.42. Right now, we are finding support on the golden pocket and that trend assistant. Not overly worried about it. So still sitting in profit, but not as well as I was sitting there. Marathon's earnings reports yesterday kind of put a damper on a lot of stuff. Got to bounce off the top there on its value area high, and that Delta blue line, that is the median line of the predictive ranges there. Lost the point of control. If you lose the point of control, you can assume you're going down to the value area low. I do have an entry, my entry down here at $23.45. That's where my average cost is now on Marathon. So I'll be watching that. But I do have some dry powder. I can dollar cost average this in. Overall, throughout this entire bull run, I believe Marathon Digital and Clean Spark going to absolutely tear the roof off. And then lastly, my MicroStrategy entry. I don't know that I have it on here, but my MicroStrategy entry is very, very low. I've been holding it for a while, so it's just still doing great. So MicroStrategy is making up for my Clean Spark and Marathon pullbacks. So that is what I had there. OC, are you ready to do some TA now that you're back, bro? All right, let's go.
Let's roll it. Absolutely. Let's take a look at optimism because
I replaced your head with the bull the whole time you were gone, so it's okay.
Thank you, brother. I don't know this trendless thing. I mean, I guess I need to reset my system more often. It's been like 2 weeks since I did not restart it, so I think that has to do with that, right? I mean,
first thing
let's
every
take
morning.
a look at optimism. Yes, please. Yeah, in fact, we started with teen voice, right? Teen kind voice. So let's take a look at here because we could be getting close to breaking a consolidation area here. And what am I saying that? Because look at my consolidation score. It's very, very high. I'm still also very bullish in here, but I do have a reversal. If I start building up a reversal in here and dropping here, I will be speculating, guys. And this is a speculation because I don't have the means to actually say for sure. Nothing on trading is for sure, all right? But if I look at what happened back here on my oscillator, I'll see that I have a ton of reversals or order blocks and some bearish divergences, and the price kept moving up. I'm actually looking at this area right here, and I'm trying to compare it on a macro scale to maybe this area right up here. Why am I trying to compare that? Because I was making a little range, I started having some bearish divergences, and the price kept moving up without losing the base. All right. So let me just clear this up and show you that right now we have not yet losing this base or this support, and we have smart money pushing that support line to the upside. Not only that, if we reverse here and we can find support on the VPVR and keep moving up, we are gonna be making a bearish divergence. That leads me to believe that because we are bullish and our consolidation score is very high, the next movement could be to the upside. So I am looking for a reversal to grab a little bit of liquidity or support at retail money, right? And then launch to the next. Look at that, 100% ranked areas right here with another big resistance all the way up there. So just looking at this one, I'm going to set my alerts in here. I'm going to be setting one alert all the way up here. And also, just in case, I'm going to be adding an alert right down here on the dynamic reactor. Right now, just like I'm on TradeFly's no trading zones right here. So
The
just
no-no zone.
waiting for a reaction. Exactly. So just waiting for a reaction. But this is what I'm looking. And remember, most of our biggest or greatest trades came out from previous planning. All right. So that's exactly what we're trying to do here. Turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Hey guys, I see here on the chat, Mark Dutch in the house. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Love seeing him pop in every now and then. He's always here, but sometimes he's a little late, and that's okay, but we still love him. TradeFly, what you got, bro?
Cool. Yeah, I think we're coming up quick on some time. So XRP, take a really quick look at this. As you can see, there was a massive wick here, and that was associated with a court case, and it popped, yada, yada, yada. So it went up, but what it really has formed is a symmetrical triangle on the daily. So looking at that, you see kind of the same setup as some of the alts, right? It still came down to the golden pocket, and you see that divergence. You see the RSI trending up. But there's just so much confluence here. I mean, it is just jammed. So it's lining with the symmetrical triangle, and you have everything lining up. And I mean, like all the moving averages, the 20, the 50, the 100, the 200, it's all right here, right? So it looks like it kind of broke out, right? And that makes sense because everything else is moving up and right. XRP is going to follow the crowd. And here we are, time now at about, 60 cents or so. All right, but we are messing with the 0.5. So there's probably going to be a little area of resistance. And this area makes sense too, because if you just look back left on the chart, you see here, there was support, you got that bounce, it fell through, you came up, it got resistance, came up, down. It's been messing with this area quite a bit. You can see it pretty much the line. Once you draw a line through it, you see it like this is a very prominent area. So keep this, I mean, time now, just look, keep an eye on this area, because if we break through, you can see a nice easy move probably up to 382. So let me get some further confirmation on that. Let me just pull up the chemtrails here, and let's see if that lines up with what we got. No, it doesn't want to cooperate right now, of course. Thank you, TradingView. And as Piper says, that's why we don't do it live.
It's because you're looking at this on the one that does not have volume. You see how your volume's not working either, and chemtrails use volume. So you have to look at XRP on a different exchange than the one that you're looking at, because if it doesn't, crypto, I think that's the TradingView one, I think, or something like that. If it doesn't have volume in the data, the metadata, then it will not perform on anything that uses volume in the algorithm. So, that's why crypto cap. That's it. Yeah.
There you go. Let's see here. Let's pull this up real quick, see if I can get it for you on the daily, and just see.
And that's why you now have volume now, because you're not on one that has volume. So now you guys know the little tip there of the day. So there you go. Bam.
Yeah. I can learn too. All right. Sweet.
Learn something new every day. That's the goal. That's the goal, alumni. Learn something new every day.
There it is. So here's our current area. You see that line going across. Really, the price is at about 60. And then, this would make sense here if it pushes up to about 67 cents or so. And then you're going to find some more resistance. But there's not a lot of volume associated with that, right? So, there you go. Keep an eye on this area right here. If you get through here, you're going to see a little pop, probably. I think you could see up to about 10% or so. If it pulls back, this is a very logical area for it to pull back to as well. But we had all this confluence in here. So I'm thinking more like 57 cents is probably where you're going to find some support. And that's just based on everything that's right here. So
awesome. All right. There you go, guys. That's your XRP. I got time for a really quick roundup on stacks, and then we're going to get out of here. We got to get off the air because we're part of Hit Network 24/7. And right after this show, stick around, and you'll go directly into redirect on Discover Crypto. So taking a look here at what we got going on. We had stacks that came down. Caught this lower trade band as predictive ranges, guys. There's our top trade band. We had a rejection there yesterday, right off of that delta median, giving us that downside movement. We're kind of consolidating right there. I'm feeling pretty good about its current state right now. If we throw on my fib extensions that I have for this, because we're in discovery phase, this is what works well. You'll see that our top wick here was almost at the phase 7618, which is 7.618. Right now, we're stuck beneath the 6. I think what we're seeing right here is maybe a 0 line bounce on the oscillator. I would like to see a 50% bounce on the RSI prime. That would give us a little bit of downside. Maybe we wick down to touch this, or maybe we just go sideways while they cool off and then a push back up. Watch for that $3.29, we'll call it, of that delta median there, and then watch for $3.40 on that phase 7 right there. Guys, if we break both of these, we're heading to the upper trade band. That's what we typically do. That coming in at $3.66. Stacks looking very strong. So let's go over here, guys. I see a little silhouette of an OC guy. I'm just saying. Guys, we appreciate you being here. You two got anything for the alumni on the way out, man?
No, as always, hey, huge thank you for being here. I love mixing up with you guys in the chat. Nick, thank you, bro, for hooking it up today. That was awesome. I appreciate the love. And again, it's awesome doing this every day with you guys. So kick it over to OC.
LBC, looking forward to seeing that strategy. I'm pretty excited. Guys, thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate that. Because of you guys, we are growing tremendously, and that is something that really fills my heart. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us and turning back to Piper.
Awesome. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us here today on Piper Academy. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Don't forget, tomorrow, that video on CASPA, Crux's curriculum, it is going to be dropping. We're going to have our Friday guest, Alex O Crypto, and a whole lot more. Guys, join us tomorrow. We'll see you there. If you guys got anything out of this video, hit the like button on the way out. Always, always trade safe and use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, Crux Crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off. To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!